My name is Jan Streifel, and I started in the garden about 10 years ago when my granddaughter started kindergarten at the school. And she's now in high school, but I'm still here and enjoying it very much.
My name is Melissa Brink, and I've had 2 kiddos go through Emerson. I started at the garden, I guess, the year before Jan did, so 11 years ago.
We have some instructions here and there and everywhere as well, so there are certain rules that the kids all know about how to behave in the garden.
And they have free reign once they've been, I guess, checked off on the garden rules, if you will. This whole area, they have free reign to pick, we always say a fingernail size piece of any of these herbs to taste. So it's not a big commitment like, oh gosh, what if I taste that? I don't like it. Doesn't matter, it's just a teeny piece. But they also have the autonomy to come out here and harvest, because there's 400 kids at this school. So if every person picked 10 tomatoes, we would have nothing left really fast. So for them to still have, lots of free access to taste and touch and smell.
Well, the peach tree, we hope every year that it will hold off until school starts.
Yeah.
And this year it did pretty well. The kids love it again. I mean, they just beg for the fruit. The same with this Asian pear tree, and it was very prolific this year. We had so many. But within 2 or 3 garden recesses, it was gone. They had eaten it all. But this is our touch and smell garden, and it's full of herbs, all of which are edible. And we've got mint and fennel, dill, basil, tarragon, nasturtiums, flowers are edible, dill, sage. Way down under there is sorrel. They really love the sorrel. It's very sour.
They nicknamed it the Sour Patch plant,
yeah.
because it tastes like Sour Patch Kids candy. And then the stevia, do you see those sticks?
Oh yeah.
They eat the stevia like.
It's very, very sweet. They love it. I think it's just an opportunity for them to see that there are other things that we eat that grow in the garden besides tomatoes and cucumbers and that kind of thing. And they really get intrigued. They want to test everything out. And we have one little girl who would always come in and pick a big basil leaf and then a little tomato and wrap it up together and make her own little snack. So they've come up with some, pretty cool ideas for how to enjoy the garden.
We always have a lot of marigolds, and the kids will come out here and just eat a whole entire marigold in a minute. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So marigolds always, because we use them as part of our celebration. And then nasturtium always, because it's fun to eat and peppery, and it's fun to watch a kid put a nasturtium leaf in their mouth and then taste how spicy it can be. And then it looks like we have some chamomile. Right? That's chamomile growing there. And so I think it's just sort of whatever. We operate a lot on a small budget, so oftentimes is what we can have donated through either seeds or plants to plant and have a prolific garden.
So some of them, they're all edible plants, but they're also very prolific pollinators. So we get a lot of bees. In fact, Melissa and I were here one evening, and literally there were at least 10 hummingbirds.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was
hanging
amazing.
around here, and it's just amazing. And of course, there's always bees. So, and this, of course, supports everything else that's going on that needs pollination.
Yeah, so we have 2 teepee growing structures that we didn't have for many years, and then when we did the rearranging of the garden, we revived this. And it's so awesome because it's a little bit dying back now, but when it's in its glory, it's just like full, and the kids love to go in. And again with the bees, you can almost feel like the pulsing of the bees humming and being around, and the kids have a chance to be in that environment and experience that without being scary. And kids, like Jan said earlier, they love to come out and bring their books, and it's a shady little spot. I mean, it's hot here. There's a lot of sun on that playground. So between the shade structure and the teepee structures, the kids can come in here and get a little bit of respite.
We're trying some what are called walking onions, and primarily because they have this habit of growing a stalk, and then there'll be, I don't know, 6 or 8 little onions on top, and then they fall over and kind of plant themselves, and that's why they're called walking onions. So we think it'll just be kind of a fun thing for the kids.
Well, some kids just aren't into it, right? Like they don't want to garden. Or sometimes, I mean, you have a little bit of lack of self-control on some days. You just maybe don't want to be out in the garden or out on the recess playground running around. But this is a safer space or a different space, and so we have what's called our digging bed, and we've always had that. It's just a space where kids can dig. So this box is a dedicated digging bed, and as long as they don't put their feet inside, because the teachers don't really like muddy shoes coming back to their classrooms, reasonably so, they can dig. We bury little treasures, little bugs and things so they can find it. So each of these stacks is a different classroom, and each student got to create their own book, either an actual book or a made-up book, and put their name on it. And so each classroom group of students has that memory from the school year and the class that they were in. For them to see it from seed to tomato or seed to carrot, this might be the first chance they've ever had to see that, and that can change the course of where you're headed.
We have people who are coming over here and playing ball or whatever on the field, and they'll always come over and say, "This is so great. I wish they had this when I was going to school." So I mean, it really is something that the community values.